Hi, I'm Dr. Giselle, and I want to welcome you to Becoming a Lifestyle Queen. Part number 2. In this part, we are talking about the 3 identities when it comes to healthy lifestyle. The 3 identities when it comes to a healthy lifestyle. If you have already downloaded my ebook, in the ebook I talk about 3 stages. I might change that because I don't think it necessarily has to do with a stage, because a stage has something with hierarchy, and I'm not really talking about hierarchy. I'm more talking about identity, a type of person that you embody at the moment. So what are the 3 identities? And I'm gonna share these 3 identities with you. In this video, I'm gonna ask you, we are gonna go through a part of the training where we're gonna talk about, okay, which one of these identities resonates with you? And I'm gonna give you at the end tip number 2 to help you on your journey to become a lifestyle queen. So the 3 identities. The 3 identities, remember, if you resonate with one of them or all 3 of them, it doesn't say anything negative about you. The 3 identities have names: Lisa, Michelle, and Celine. But the emphasis is not on the name. So if your name is Lisa or Michelle or Celine, forgive me, I just chose a name, right? I could have called them all Giselle. Why? Because all of these 3 identities at one point was in me and are still in me, but they are not that dominant. Now I am able to recognize when I'm moving within a overworked Michelle energy, or when I'm being unaligned Celine. So let's start with these 3 identities, and I'm gonna link them to my stories so that you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Let me take a sip. From my tea. Okay, let's go to the 3 identities that I recognize with clients and with myself, and even with patients. You have the unaware Lisa, with emphasis on unaware. You have the overworked Michelle, with emphasis on being overworked. And you have the unaligned Celine, with emphasis on being unaligned. Let's start with the unaware Lisa. The unaware Lisa is experiencing mild health issues. She has a little bit of lack of energy and a little bit of weight gain. But she is struggling primarily with her lifestyle habits. She is unaware of these. She has inherited these habits from her family. Everyone in her family did the same thing, so she is just doing the same thing, unaware of the effect it is having on her health. She also has a lot of excuses. Her main mantra is, this is just the way that I am. So if somebody don't like me, this is just the way that I am. This is her mantra. So she is unaware of her own power, in that she is able to change. She just sees herself as one set person, and that makes her just be in that mode of, on one hand, thinking that this is just the way that I am, and on the other hand, blaming everybody for everything that is happening in her life. She also feels a lot of overwhelmed with all of the information that is available about health at this moment. And her main identity shift that she has to make is that she has to go from being unaware to being aware. She has to go from unaware to be aware. She has to go from this dormant, maybe even zombie-like identity to to wake up and being awake and aware of herself and her surroundings and how she is affecting herself and her surrounding. She has to become aware that what she is experiencing in her health and lifestyle and business and career is a result of her lifestyle choices. And she must go from being unaware Lisa to aware Lisa. And this was the start of my journey. I think this kept me at home longer than I needed to be home. Like I shared with you, I was at home for almost 2 years, but I was stuck in being unaware Lisa. I was stuck with not being able to change, not feeling empowered to change. I was thinking I had only one identity, but none of us only have one identity. We have all type of identities within us that we can tap into, right? And yeah, so that is the unaware Lisa. Let's go to overworked Michelle. So overworked Michelle is in full-blown hormonal and nervous system unbalance. Her cortisol level is sky high. Most overworked Michelle that I meet are almost burned out or are on their way to burned out. They are stressed out. They have a lot of hormonal issues. PMS, PCOS, migraines, weight gain, uncontrollable weight gain. They are struggling with their insulin levels. They gain weight on, especially around their waist. The thyroid gland is out of balance. And they have a lack of self-esteem, lack of stamina, lack of libido, and they are very cynical. They look at the world based on the fact that the world is a hostile place. The mantra of the overworked Michelle is, I have to do everything by myself. I have to do everything by myself. She often feels alone. Does it resonate with you? So the transformation that has to happen for the overworked Michelle is that she has to go from being overworked Michelle to empowered Michelle. A lot of that being overworked has to do with that she doesn't feel empowered and she is overworking to compensate for something. And she has to learn that she is empowered so that she can go from being overworked to so that she can go from working hard to working smart. There has to come some relaxation. The overworked Michelle has to relax. Before this last summer, May 2022, I was shocked that I was detecting a lot of overworked Michelle energy within myself. And I was like, no, we're not gonna go back to 5 years ago. So what I did was I took 3 months. I took 3 months. I wanted to take 1 month, but after 1 month, I didn't feel like that was enough. So I took 3 months of relaxation. I threw social media from my phone. I would just check my emails, my work emails. I would go for walks daily. I would write in my journal, only do fun stuff with fun people, and a lot of rest, a lot of just sitting outside, a lot of just walking, a lot of rest and relaxation. And if something was too stressful, I wouldn't join it. I wouldn't even watch movies that had a lot of negativity and negative energy in it. I spent 3 months just relaxing because I knew I needed it. You see, whenever you come to the place of the overworked Michelle, you have to take it seriously because the overworked Michelle is on her way to being burnout. So that was overworked Michelle. Let's go to the unaligned Celine. The unaligned Celine is struggles with the balance. She is aware that she is fully aware and she is not that overworked anymore. But she has put the effort in creating a balance, but she is struggling. Her mantra is nothing that I do works. Nothing that I do works. And a lot of times what I have found with the unaligned Celine is that she is not aligned with her inner self, is not aligned with her outer self. There is some mismatch. Whatever she wants to do is not what she is currently doing. So she is either in a field that she doesn't want to be in. She is in relationships that is not feeding her. She is, even when it comes to her body, she is not giving herself permission to show up as a most healthy part of herself. There is something blocking her. And what I've seen is that a lot of times for the unaligned Celine, the problem is a trauma and that she needs one-on-one coaching, because by herself, she is not going to go to the trauma. She might go to the trauma to talk about it, but not to take care of it. So for the unaligned Celine, she needs one-on-one coaching to guide her to the trauma so that she can so that she can heal from the trauma, so that things can get back in alignment. So the identity shift that has to happen for the unaligned Celine is that she has to become relentless to face her trauma, because that might be a scary place for her. So she's gonna have to be relentless so that she can free herself from that feeling stuck and continuously self-sabotaging herself. So these were the three identities. The first one, what was the first one again? The unaware Lisa. The unaware Lisa, the overworked Michelle, and the unaligned Celine. All these three identities are a version of the lifestyle queen. All these three identities have the lifestyle queen within them. And the lifestyle queen is trying to come out, but you have to give the lifestyle queen permission to start ruling, to start governing your life. Because the lifestyle queen is fully aware. She knows that she is empowered and she is relentless to go through whatever she has to go through to take back control of her queendom. So I want to ask you, which one of these identities you resonate with the most? Which one of these identities do you resonate with the most? Just gonna give you a moment to think about it. Maybe you want to write it in your journal. Which one of these identities do you resonate with the most? The unaware Lisa, the overworked Michelle, or the unaligned Celine? What is needed for you to become a lifestyle queen? What is needed for you to go from unaware Lisa to lifestyle queen? For you to go from overworked Michelle to lifestyle queen? For you to go from unaligned Celine to lifestyle queen? What is needed for you to become a lifestyle queen? Yeah. And I want you to describe, how does the lifestyle queen look for you? How does she looks for you? Describe a day in the day of the lifestyle queen. Like 3 years ago, let me share it with you. 3 years ago, I wrote in my journal, I don't have it here, it's in the boxes. I wrote in the journal a day in the day of me as the lifestyle queen. How I would wake up, what I will do when I wake up. Would I drink tea? Would I drink coffee? Would I meditate? Would I go for a walk? Would I go for a run? Would I go to a gym, or do I have a gym in the house? Would I get in there? Would I read a book? What books do I read? What movies do I like? How do I have my hair? What type of makeup do I put? What type of dresses do I like? What is my job description? What do I do on a daily basis? Where do I live? Do I live where I currently live? Have I moved? How does the life of your version of the lifestyle queen looks like? Where does she go on vacation? What type of restaurants does she like? And what type of relationships does she have? With who? And her friends? And what do they do together? You see, with this exercise, you already did two things. You did two things that are imperative for change. First, you described where you are at. When I asked you, which one of these identities do you resonate with? You made a description of your current situation. When I asked you what is needed to get from where you are at to the lifestyle queen, you describe steps that you might need to take to get there. And when I asked you to describe the lifestyle queen, your version of the lifestyle queen, I took you to a place where you could enhance that version of lifestyle queen. Make it sexy for yourself. So actually, you made a goal, you made an assessment of where you are at right now, and you also wrote down what steps you could need to get there. So that is magical, isn't it? So in part one, I gave you a tip which had to do with breathing. Right? Remember, we did some breathing. Let's do that again, very short. Just 3 deep breaths, right? So we're gonna go through our nose. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Last one. In. 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, before. Isn't that nice? Whenever I do that, I cannot do that and continue. It just calms me down. So tip number 2 is I want you to start a ritual in which you get up in the morning, you do 1 minute deep breaths, and you write 5 things in your journal that makes you amazing. Write 5 things in your journal on a daily basis that makes you amazing. And it can be anything that makes you amazing. Your eyes, your hair, your empathy, the way that you love people, any skill that you have that is amazing. Maybe you can make an amazing dish, anything. Maybe you can make an amazing soup. Maybe you can make an amazing mac and cheese. Maybe you have a craft. Maybe you have a talent. Write daily 5 things that makes you amazing. Maybe the fact that you smiled at somebody today, that's amazing. You know how many people just don't smile with each other? How many people are in their phones? Maybe the fact that you gave someone a compliment, that's amazing. So every morning when you start your day, you breathe and you write 5 things that makes you amazing. Because let me tell you a secret. That is how I started to get that is how I started to get out of what I was in 5 years ago. By keeping a journal of things that are amazing. I will write 5 things that I'm thankful for and 5 things that makes me amazing. And after a year, I was like, wow, I'm amazing. And that is what I want for you. So this was a lifestyle, becoming a lifestyle queen, part 2. The 3 identities of lifestyle, being an unaware Michelle, being an unaware Lisa, being an overworked Michelle, and being an unaligned Celine. And the task for today is to breathe 1 minute, deep breathing, and to keep a journal in which you write 5 things that makes you amazing. If you love this video, please press like and or subscribe if you want to receive more of these. And if you can think of anyone that you say, maybe she also has some overworked Michelle, or she is a little bit unaligned right now in her life, or anything else that I have shared with you that resonates with you, if you recognize that and you want to help somebody, please share this video. You might just impact their life. So sharing is caring. So that is that. So I'm gonna go and leave you guys, and we will see each other in the next one, in the part 3. What is the part 3 again about? Yes, the cycle of learning, the cycle of failure. So see you guys in the next one. Bye.